welcome back. We are at the Premodern Fall Cup at Misty Mountain Games. We're in the very first Fall Cup, and we are in the finals. Final match, a whole day of awesome Premodern, played all day. And in the end, smoke clears. We have Ricky Thorson on your left playing his mono green oath deck versus Michael Phillips on Enchantress. They'll be playing for some sweet prizes. Second place is going to get a gold border Gaia's Cradle, and the winner is going to get that sweet Sliver Queen and personalized brushland.
Pumpkins on the brushland.
With pumpkins. Yeah, I thought it had a good fall feel, so
it does.
I went with that. I also had a huge amount of negative space on it that so I could just write all them words on it without screwing up any of the artwork, really.
I always want to know, like, so let me bring up this card.
So it's gonna be lands versus enchantments again.
All right, I'm bringing up the Ice Age brushland.
Yeah, there it is.
Like, I mean, I'm no art critic, but like, if someone just like sends it in to be like, maybe we could get a little more on there.
Yeah. It kind of looks like you started doing this brushland, and then deadlines are coming or something.
Yeah.
It's a foggy brushland. Sweet.
Okay, so Ricky Thorson,
Yeah.
I've got it labeled as Mulch Oath. I realized after I gave it that name today that there's only 2 copies of Mulch, but I'm sticking with it. So
Everybody calls it Mulch Oath. It's just you play mulches and you get an identity. That's how it works.
all right.
I think Ricky's first. He has the higher seed. He's going to start off with a Tranquil Thicket in play, kind of revealing a possible lack of lands in hand. And Michael's going to start with his ideal start of a wild growth on a forest. Ricky,
Well, he says I can do that too.
there's so many wild growths dropping. Oh my god! Everything growing on forests, like
What are the stocks of
lush.
wild growth?
We'll call it lush.
Do you think is Ricky like licking his lips because he's got 8 LD spells in his deck?
Yeah, I think
Winter's Grasp and the Thermo.
You gotta be
Thermokarst.
feeling good on Ricky's side, seeing enchantments being played on lands.
So I did ask Ricky if he had played against any snow-covered lands today. He said, no, not today. He said, I've played this deck about 100 times. I've maybe blown up 2 snow-covered lands. And I said, I'm like, oh, did they like have a reason to play snow covers? He's like, no, it was just like they thought they were cool.
Mm-hmm.
So he has gained a couple life because of Thermokarst, but not today.
That's awesome. So Michael is gonna get a Sterling Grove out and pass a turn, and we're gonna see a second Your Resistance. 2 raises played by Ricky.
What is a collective of spheres? We might need a collective noun for that. An orb of spheres.
Yeah.
A circle of
bushel.
spheres.
A bushel of resistance.
I would say I have a lot of times when I've seen Ricky, there have been multiple spheres in play, so they come in packs, I guess. All the goblins carrying it.
It feels like kind of worth it. Maybe I'm just biased. All right, we got a 1/1 Terravore out here.
Start small, but
he's drinking milk. He'll gonna get big and strong someday.
I don't know if Terravores drink milk. I feel like they are like more. I think they're like. I eat a lot of vegetable type stuff.
Call back to the classic '90s commercial. I'm drinking milk.
Is that a commercial just for milk, or was
it? Yeah, it was a milk
okay,
commercial,
okay.
and like they.
All right,
some wussy kid, you know.
Terravore attack for 1. Let's see how many times this Terravore attacks for 1. I don't know. I don't think it'll be that many, but
I love Ice Age brushland. That's sweet. It's kind of funny that it looks like a third of an artwork. But I like use some negative space. It's kind of like I mean,
Okay.
I don't think I'd see that artwork and think it was anything but brushland, or like confuse it with something else. Not like scrubland.
So one thing that's to note is because of the sphere resistance, is a little bit, well, a lot more difficult for Michael to do the standard get your engines going,
Yeah.
explode onto the board, because all of his spells cost an additional 2 mana.
It's kind of the best LD spell for Ricky, right? Because except for the fact that it can get seal cleansing away, because it specifically stops Michael from playing zillion spells a turn.
Mhm.
The goal is to have it like kill more than like stop more than 1 mana in a turn.
Mm-hmm. Terravore a little bit bigger now, and it's attack for 5.
Yep, he doubled in size.
Is he like an exponential creature? Well, next turn will he be a 4/4?
Good.
It's not out of the question.
Well, if Michael drops a non-basic, it looks very likely he gets twice as big.
All right, a second Sterling Grove protects his enchantments, but I think I don't know how relevant that is in this matchup. But
I think Michael is sitting on a what's it called? Sanctum thing. Sarah's Sanctum, and also has a Windswept Heath.
Well, I mean, those are cards that you kind of actually have to consider not using, because adding those lands to the graveyard, whether it's with a fetch land or putting a non-basic into play with a Wasteland in play on the other side, could add to the clock. So looks like the Sarah Sanctum is going to add 5 mana, and that allows for a Parallax Wave that costs 6.
Yeah. We know that Ricky has virtually 0 interaction on enchantments game 1 as well. He has one Naturalize in his deck.
Though, I mean, Michael doesn't necessarily know that. So
Michael doesn't know that. We did not give them deck lists. We did the normal top 8 thing. Our top 8 rule is we inform the players what they have to truthfully say what deck they're playing. Just like some mild
the archetype
free scout, the archetype, yeah.
And that's feels like it gets around like the scouting thing, but then also it makes the games a little more interesting because you don't know their exact 75.
Yeah.
Like I always thought it was kind of weird, like when you're like looking at a deck list, like whoa, what card should I play around? Like, oh, and it feels a little bit different. Like I like that little bit of mystery.
Yeah, I think this game's virtually over. Oh wait, no, it's not, because he has 2 Sterling Groves in play again. Well, it might still be over, but Michael, I believe, has Michael has an Opalescence in his hand.
Okay. So the Treetop Village got activated, and the 4/4 Terravore. So
it's got a fade. He didn't fade. The
4/4 so the exponential Terravore attack, but yeah, Parallax Wave took it out.
Yeah, that thing could have been 8/8 next turn. The doubling Vor.
Would that card be better or worse if that was its tech? Just like double, it starts the 1/1 Trampler and it doubles its power every turn.
In this format, I think it'd be worse.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, sometimes it'd be better. It'd be different, right?
Yeah,
because you don't have to play anything to support it.
It would be interesting. Like, I mean, I don't think that card's unfair, but it probably is a more powerful creature in pre-modern.
Right. Yeah. For sure. We have our Opalescence. Now
we're doing stuff. Oh, I did not spell that one right.
He wants the sack. Sacking both Sterling Groves, so that his Opalescence, so his Parallax Wave would work.
Yeah,
clearly done this before.
No, he just he thought he was gonna put 2 enchantments on top and combo off.
He's going for a Sterling Grove.
So
I guess he can like finish his turn, finish his business, you know. All right.
he gets to get an attack in.
Gonna come in for 8 with the enchantment.
I mean, I guess there might be some merit to not do that yet because you
Rob him of the
Treetop Village.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know how Ricky can win at this point, you know.
Yeah, I guess from his perspective,
yeah,
it's like the way he wins is always through creatures. Like,
well, Michael can win like 2 turns, right?
That's
so
true.
he can literally just like tutor for Sterling Grove every turn, you know. I guess he might be okay with a Naturalize, but I think it's pretty doubtful.
All right, I'm gonna take a look at the list, and we're gonna look at sideboards. So there's Naturalizes, Krosan Reclamation, Cursed Totem, Defense Grid, Black Vise, Zuran Orb, and Elephant Grass. I really think I'm only interested in Naturalize. I guess, is there any like does Cursed Totem, does that like help like against that combo?
Cursed Totem does help against Opalescence, Parallax Wave.
Though
Michael's built his deck away from that combo, though. He only plays 1 copy of each.
Okay. I mean, I guess like Ricky might be taking out the Oath of Druids. I mean, like the sideboard he doesn't have. Black Vise could be good too. So Michael's sideboard,
I think
a lot more options since there's a lot more singletons, but swords seem fine. I mean, against like Ricky's deck. And then there's some enchantments: Aura Sound, City Solitude, Engineer Plague, Karmic Justice, Circle of Protection Red, Ground Seal, Sacred Ground, Seal of Cleansing, Warmth, and Carpet of Flowers. I mean,
Seal of Cleansing. Do you think Sacred Ground's happening here?
Yeah, probably. I mean, especially if they
Sacred Ground. Oh, Sacred Ground for sure.
Yeah.
I went Ground Seal.
Ground Seal. Maybe. I mean, especially since you don't know the exact list. If you don't know the exact list, that might be a card that comes in. I'm not sure what like the underperformers, like how you sideboard with the Enchantress deck.
Yeah, I think if he has Ground Seal, he's inevitably gonna win with I guess like, all right. The big thing he's afraid of is a bunch of LD spells. That's like how he loses. He gets LD'd out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess Ground Seal's probably not that critical then.
I'm just noticing. So, there are 2 copies of Wooded Foothills in Michael's list, and no copies of Mountains. So it's just a forest that makes Terravore a little bit bigger.
True.
I guess. I mean, it interacts with.
Yeah. Why does he have that?
Miri's Guile, Sylvan Library.
Yeah, I guess.
Thinning the deck actually like might not be like when you draw that many cards. So okay, so people always talk about like, oh, deck thinning doesn't make a difference.
Look at his Karmic Justice, by the way, in this fetch. Like,
yeah, I'll just finish my thought.
Sorry.
So it's like if you draw 3 cards, then like you having 1 less land is not that important. But if you start drawing 13 cards, that those percentage points I think add up, and it is a little bit more impactful. So
yeah, I think there's a lot going in the favor of Enchantress here. Like Sterling Grove just shuts off all of Ricky's interaction for the most part.
Yeah.
And Replenish just gets it back in the game. Karmic Justice and Sacred Ground are both like just
some pretty big haymakers.
Ridiculously good against him, right?
Yeah, so I don't envy Ricky in this spot. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Even though he's playing one of my favorite cards in Terravore.
But you know, Michael came all the way up here from Nashville, you know. it'd be sweet. It'd be the first outsider though to really take the championship.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a stacked odds because I mean obviously there's
been a home team like every time.
I don't know what the percentages are.
Yeah, I mean other places don't have a Nathan Marhefke, you know. Will Hurst.
Yeah. All right, so This is a mulligan for both players. I looked away, and there's been more shuffling.
Yep. They are both mulliganing.
Who's the good guy in this matchup?
Chat? Who's the good guy?
I mean, like,
chat think is a good guy.
I think
I'm truly curious.
I think it's a matchup that like kind of just depends on which deck you like more.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see how.
I like both these decks.
Well,
they're both kind of good guys.
I don't know. I mean, a deck with Rishadan Port, Sphere Resistance, and LD spells. I don't know if that's a good guy. I don't know if I can get behind
Enchantress doesn't play Oath, so I gotta say Enchantress is a good guy. Enchantress has no ban cards in it.
I'll go with Enchantress. Yeah.
But it feels like it's not a good guy. Oh yeah, I should plug that. Next Saturday there's a big pre-modern event in Nashville.
Okay.
So if you're
I've seen some of the stuff they have. It's like
they got some cool stuff,
really cool, and like artist stuff. Or I know I looked at it because I looked at plane tickets at one point. I'm like, oh, this is.
I thought about it, but like my boy Hopper is in like is in a bad way right now. We gotta be home taking care of him. It was almost hard to get the whole day off for this.
Lanny says it's really cheap to fly from Nashville from pretty much everywhere. I don't know if Madison is one of those, but Madison Airport, pretty notorious for not great prices. But
it's Lanny, are you going to the Nashville? You should. There's an invite link on there.
Yeah.
Let's hype it up.
I don't know if they have. Oh, okay, I was saying how much room that they had.
First place is a box of Stronghold, and second place is one pack. No. Box of Stronghold. Whoa, maybe I'm gonna go.
Yeah. So cool event. Good to see pre-modern in different places. So we're kicking things off. Ricky's gonna start. We got a Mox Diamond that's discarding a Wasteland, and he does have a turn 1 Wild Growth. A little awkward that it's put on a Memphis Factory, but I guess that's an indication that he doesn't have other targets that he wants to put it on.
Got 2 cards left. One of them, it looks like it's a Winner's Grasp. And turn on Exploration is kind of decent against.
It's the LD strategy.
It's LD.
I mean, there's a point
kind
where
of. I mean,
yeah, if the game goes long, then it doesn't really like do anything.
Yeah. But if it's a difference between like getting to 2 mana,
sure.
You know, like Ricky's thing here is normally like you kill your first land.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have 2 mana next turn.
Like we're able to see Ricky's hand. It's not that impressive.
Yeah, this is all he's got. He's on a Grasp and a Prayer. He does have a Port in his hand as well. So he had 2 LD spells.
Okay, I guess actually all those pieces work pretty well together, but still.
That's relevant.
Yeah.
That's relevant.
Does it seem weird that Ricky's playing Winter's Grasp at the Fall Cup?
Yeah, it's a little early, isn't it, Ricky?
Yeah.
Is there an autumn or fall card?
Summer Bloom
I didn't see. I couldn't think of one last. I thought about doing one. You know,
there's Autumn Willow.
Autumn Willow. I should have done an Autumn Willow for this event next year. Next Fall Cup.
There's got to be more.
Yeah, our next event will be in December.
I'm sure there's cards that have fall in it, but it's probably not referring to like the autumn.
Doing the winter finals in December.
Yeah, do you think you could oath out an Autumn Willow? All right, well,
Autumn's Veil.
Back to here. Terravore has joined the fray, and actually, he's pretty beefy. He's a 5/5.
Yeah,
this is a good chunk of damage.
This is real.
This is more than real.
Yeah.
This might be problematic.
Yeah. Well, that's
all right. Well, I think I would discount like Ricky and his deck way too much. I'm like, oh, there's some cards. It's not gonna do anything, and then all of a sudden Terravore is here, and Michael has like 3 turns to live.
Yeah, it's this is happening.
I don't. You need a solitary confinement here, but you don't have any way to chain it. I guess Elephant Grass could help. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
7. Taking 7. A wild growth Mishra's Factory is just below attack. That's what I think.
Also, Rishadan Port on your wild growth plains is kind of nice. And
locking it down.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a quick beatdown from Ricky, where he's going to equalize here.
Could he, Michael, every time I say I don't know how Ricky's gonna do it.
That's kind of how I feel.
Ricky does it.
I'm just like, oh, he's not gonna do anything.
I empower him with as soon as I count him out, he's back in it.
Yeah. And I mean, that game really didn't even look close. So
Vernal Equinox, that's spring, right? Vernal. Because the Vernal is the spring.
And Vernal Bloom is the other one too, right?
Vernal Bloom. Yeah, that's what I meant. We could do that for the Spring Cup.
I tried to put this in a deck. It was sweet.
That deck was sweet.
I think the time I played against it, you had like the absolute best draw. Like it killed you like on turn 3 or 4 or something.
Yeah, well, yeah. I was like, oh, this thing's a banger. Holy cow.
The deck was
It's Mono Green Storm.
Yeah. It had Nature's Lore, Rampant Growth. I actually don't think it had Rampant Growth.
Somebody mentioned that the winter event is the same weekend as Eternal Weekend. I've been talking to Mike, and I think we should move it 1 week just to take it off of that.
I mean, I just don't know how many people that
I want to go to Eternal Weekend. Okay. Me.
Oh, that's up to you then. I don't know.
I even thought about asking, seeing possibly running an event there.
I mean, also, like you could still go, and the event here still could happen.
What's that?
I said the event here still could happen.
I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna try to go a week after True Finals. We could do it the last weekend, like that middle weekend. Like between Christmas and New Year's one. That's probably the worst weekend possible to do it.
Yeah, December's a tough month.
December is tough. But last time I was like, I'm not doing it. Last time I was like, I do not want to do it in December, and I thought nobody would show up, and we had an okay turnout actually, even though it was like kind of bad weather too.
Not as bad as weather of the Spring Cup.
Yeah.
That we had. The snow cone.
The snow cone. We got a decent turnout for that too, though, didn't we?
I think it was upper 30s or mid to upper 30s. What was our total count today?
34.
34? Okay.
Not bad.
What was the biggest one we had?
That was the last one.
The last one?
The summer one.
Yeah. And that was
that like 70s?
I thought it was upper 50s.
Was 50? Was that 57? That
something like that. 57, 59, 56. All right, we're in our last game. Well, right. barring draws, I don't know if these decks can draw, but I'm guessing we're in our last game of the Premodern Fall Cup. We got Ricky Thorson on the left with Mulch Oath against Michael Phillips with the Enchantress. Who's going to take it down?
I mean, I think being on the play is pretty huge in any land destruction matchup. I think Ricky lacks a lot of good interaction with Enchantress. So obviously Ricky is gonna blast the hell out of Michael lands this game.
I feel Michael. I feel like Michael's gonna win. I think this is his time. He's gonna take it down. Though I have been very impressed in the situations that I feel like when Ricky's not advantaged and he comes out on top. So
Yeah.
props to him.
And there's some awkward hands that are not going to play well against what Ricky does out of the Enchantress deck. Also, Michael has mulliganed to 5 here.
Okay.
You hate to see it. Yeah.
Well,
this is a good start for Ricky, I think.
yeah, Ricky's got a hand that lines up really well against it, I think.
I almost would want to take the. I know it's crazy, but
Take him out.
take them out. Maybe take them out.
I mean,
They're
they
really
cycle half the time.
they're so bad though sometimes. Like
You could just not play them.
Ricky if he just has a Ricky gets to play Port
I would say you could just wait
and Mox Diamond, and Michael just never gets to tap this for mana for the rest of the game, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, now he's got to tap the city.
It's a rule, right?
What?
We can say it would cut him off.
All right, he went a different way.
They're saying to tapping a 1 for 1.
Sterling Grove. Can't target the Wild Growth line anymore because there's enchantment on it.
That's not how it works. Maybe you can make like a flavor argument. All right.
I don't know. I think I would have just double ported.
Ooh. All right, Black Vise comes down, and then you get to Winter's Grasp, that one. Huh?
I don't think I would have played that twice there. Because he could have just ported him twice, right?
No, it costs 3 mana to cast the land destructions. Oh, you're saying, okay.
Yeah, and just not play the
So
LD.
it's less about the Black Vise, it's more about
Yeah.
the Winter's Grasp.
Yeah. So now he's got a Dust Bowl, which is... All right, I think it makes a little more sense the way he did it now if he has a Dust Bowl following it. But I don't know.
I mean, he's able to tap the Serra Sanctum and the City Brass during the upkeep.
Yeah, do you double tap here, or do you...
I think I would double tap. Like, there's... And then the next turn I would play...
Yeah. I
Sphere.
mean, I would have double tapped last turn, so I kind of agree with you. He has a Sphere resistance, so it looks like he really wants to play.
He also... I thought he was thinking about casting the Naturalize on the Sterling Grove. But I don't...
Yeah, he's got a He's a Naturalize on a Sphere.
I don't know if that's...
I think I like the Sphere. But it does put him in an awkward spot because then his Naturalize is going to cost 3.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you need to do it when Michael doesn't have mana untapped.
Kind of feels like if he just ports forever here, the Vice might get him.
Yeah,
I like the Sphere. I think the Sphere's... Well, he does... Is the Sphere good? I think
it is.
I think it kind of isn't because Michael's only on 1 spell per turn. If Michael was like closer to being able to do 2 a turn, I think the Sphere is a really good play.
Yeah, but if you play the Sphere, and then if Michael doesn't have something, you still get a tap. And then let's just say Michael doesn't do anything on the next turn, then you're in real good shape, aren't you?
Mm. Now he's playing a Sphere.
Okay. Well, okay. I guess getting rid of the Naturalize on the Sterling Grove, that makes the Serra Sanctum tap for less. So
okay, play an exploration, play another land, and
it's that Wooded Foothills, that Terravore food.
Take a damage, put a +1/+1 counter on your opponent's Terravore. All their Terravores.
Yeah. All right, so I mean that turn was pretty good for Michael, but I guess
This is
like
right. I think this is running away.
ooh, yeah, the Dust Bowl on the Sarah Sanctum, okay. And you still get to
Man, I would have dropped that Treetop so fast there. We could just Dust Bowl next turn.
Dust Bowl the City Brass.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a way to win though. Just keep porting them.
Winning. What's your hurry, you know?
So how does this go wrong for Ricky?
I don't know. It looks really good for Ricky. Goes wrong if Michael just hits running, draws another Sanctum,
Okay.
I think, and is able to like put
But
that
still,
together into more stuff.
I mean, the spells cost one more. And he doesn't have that much time. I think Ricky's going to take this.
It's looking really good for him.
And I
the
mean,
mana base is like a weak point of the Enchantress deck, in my opinion.
I do appreciate it. It just seems like Ricky, like he was thinking of that one turn about like the Naturalize and the Sphere, but I feel like beyond this, it's just been super crisp. Like he is like very aware of what's going on and just executing a game plan.
I think that was a really hard turn.
No, I'm just saying like I'm more saying that like because Ricky has played this deck a lot, like there was a decision point, and beyond that, like he is just understanding like he took a line and then he's just going for it. And yeah, he takes it down. And so yeah.
I thought he'd attack with the Treetop too.
Do a little extra damage.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he has a Naturalize. You know?
So Ricky Thorson defending the
we keep it in Wisconsin. I think Ricky lives in Milwaukee maybe, but I don't know. He's been to every one of these, I think. So it's pretty awesome. See him take one down. He's been in the finals before at least once.
Yeah, definitely with the stage.
We'll ask him if it's more than once.
I don't think he made it to the finals with the Tinker Mod. I think he lost in the quarters.
Yeah. I think
or the blue-red Tinker deck.
This might be his fourth top 8.
What was the third deck the other deck that he played?
Stasis.
Yeah.
Tinker Mud.
Or the blue-red Tinker.
I feel like he might have had a green-white Oath.
No,
he won that. I know he won that slide pass.
Do you want to talk to him, or should I bring him back here, or what?
Yeah, why don't we talk to him?
I mean, do you want to do the interview, or should
I? I can.
Okay. You can talk to chat. I'll switch it over to you.
All right, so that's a wrap. Ricky Thorson is your Fall Cup champion. Got to have that brushland for life, unless he sells it back to me or something weird like that. And he'll be in the booth any minute to come talk. So what do you think? Is I guess this green Mulch Oath deck. I feel like I've heard a lot. I've seen it a lot. It's been on a lot of MOS events, doing well, and I think a lot of people aren't sure if it's real or not. But this is definitely a good feather in its cap. Showing what it can do. Showing it's a real part of the format. But congrats to Michael too, taking Enchantress all the way to the finals. Got a really good run with it. We saw it. I think it was like the third time we saw it play, and he definitely piloted it very well in all the matches I watched. I wouldn't call it a Ponza win, but it's kind of like a Ponza win. That's kind of cool. Who's on the air now? Maybe it's me. Yeah, MTGO takes its first title here. Getting stuff together. We'll be right back. So Paul Master, you play on MTGO a lot. I'm wondering, what are your thoughts on this deck? I bet you played against it a decent amount and watched it operate in the leagues. I wonder if you have any takes on it. Guess your first time here. Okay. Anyway, Ricky.
Hey,
all right.
How's it going?
Here comes our Fall Cup champion in the booth.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Awesome
Thank you so
deck,
much for having
awesome
this tournament. It's a blast.
So tell us all. Are you one of the designers on this deck? I know we've seen it a lot in the online events, people playing it. But
more TV Tyrant is his screen name.
Tyrant, okay.
So like he's been playing this deck for like years, and you can like just kind of like
Years,
follow
wow.
along
Okay.
with the evolution of it, of like a lot of the flex slots between like exploration, wild growth, mocks, and spheres. So he's been playing that like every week on MOS online on MTGO, and just keep making iterations all the time. But yeah, this newest iteration is really sweet. I really enjoy it. I think it's really good.
What do you, are you which decks do you like playing, which you have a harder time with? Just wondering what the place in the meta is with it, because I think it's the first time a lot of people are seeing this one.
Yeah, like elves is definitely difficult. Super fast stuff, Dreadnought can be problematic, like Replenish, Angry Hermits, like all that stuff can be really tough, right? Because you're
like hard fast combo. Yeah.
The Stone Rains, I mean, they don't do a whole lot in those matchups, but you kind of hope that like Oath and Sphere and stuff can play a role there, but sometimes you just draw the wrong half.
Classic. Tell us about your trip to the tournament.
It's like 10 minutes away.
Okay.
So yeah.
You do live in Madison, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm on the northeast
I was
part
like,
of town.
wait, does he play in Milwaukee now?
Yeah.
But no, you kept us. So all of our champions have been from Madison. It's kind of great. So come on out, see if you can unseat the locals here. But home field has been really good for the players.
It's definitely a strong group here.
What kind of decks did you play against? What were your
there's like quite a bit of the green white Cataclysm kind of Oath. I think that was everywhere, which like I like this deck quite a bit in that matchup because there's so many more man lands and like all the LD is great. I didn't face anything that was like super fast. It was a lot more like mid-rangey kind of stuff. I can barely remember the matchups, but
okay.
There's obviously stuff that like needs its mana to operate, right?
Did you go undefeated in the Swiss or
X1? I lost to a mono red Ponza, which I'm not sure if he also top 8'd or not.
Yeah, I think he did.
Okay.
Sean Lillibridge.
Yeah,
he was on the other half of the bracket, I think.
Okay, so I lost to him in the Swiss like round 3 or round 4 or something, which it's a pretty similar deck. He just like drew more lands, right? We're like wastelanding, and then first person miss a land drop is like, okay, great, pillage you or winner's grasp you. Like
I love an LD battle. You know, it's just like
it's real dirty.
We're just gonna have stuff not happen here for a while.
So that one was like pretty nasty. And then otherwise, it was all pretty strong all the way through. Yeah, this deck's sweet.
Cool. Yeah, it looks really good. There were twice I was like, I think Ricky's in a bad spot playing against this deck. I don't know if he's gonna be able to beat, because you look at the deck and you're like, he's got one Naturalize and he's playing against Enchantress. Like, what the hell is he think gonna happen? You know?
Oh,
and
like
then you get smashed in the first game, and then nope, next two blow up all the lands, right?
Those are some pretty ugly like post board games, but that's really like what the deck does. Where like it just like kind of limps along, and my semis were really nasty. It was like I don't know if it was on camera at all. The green red welder like control deck. He like ruinations me, and then naturalizes a Mox. So like I'm left with a forest, and he has like 5 or 6 lands. And I just rattle off like Forest, Port, Terravore. And they were like 9/9s just crashing in. He's like, it seemed like he was just like way over the top going to win. And then giant Terravores come out of nowhere and close it.
Right. Do you have issues with like running out of deck ever? Like just having the 4 creatures, no blessings, kind of just.
I've never been decked. I was close against the green-white Cataclysm kind of build because we kept trading Terravores.
Yeah.
Like, we had like our Terravores were like 25/25s just trading, and then they also have Exalted Angels, and I had like 3 cards left in library, but thankfully I was beating down with treetops and stuff, because again, like the additional man lands really help in the Oath mirrors.
Yeah.
So that was the closest I got to decking, but I've
So
never.
you beat a Exalted Angel with.
It was a morph. It was like a.
Oh, so he can flip it because he can flip
He
all
doesn't have
those.
6
He
mana,
flew all
right?
9
Like-
basics. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. And he
Yeah.
can put 4 together to flip it. So.
Right.
All right. That's what answered Exalted Angel. That's
Right.
good. Yep.
But like Reanimator is always like really tough too. So that's why there's the Krosan Reclamation in the sideboard.
Okay.
But it can also help to prevent decking. But like,
I thought it might have been just like a hedge. You know, I need a couple more attack steps. If I have to oath my whole deck away.
hopefully not. But
You know.
like, it's definitely happened before.
Mhm.
Usually like 1 or 2 Terravores are like, good. Their power's in the teens, so
Mhm.
you don't really need to crack in with them too much. Usually it just takes 1 solid connection with a Terravore to close it, because the man lands can kind of harass
Yeah.
the games.
Right. Yeah. He's kind of one hit, they're dead.
Mhm.
Yeah, we were like talking about it. Like you like flip. It was like the first time we saw your deck play. You flip 5 lands and hit a Terravore. I'm like, oh, that's pretty fortunate. And then Mike's like, well, I think that might be an average oath. It's probably a 5/5 Terravore. And then I thought you had more creature. The first time we were watching you, I didn't realize you were mono green. I thought you were playing like green white one. And then I looked again and I'm like, oh no, he's mono green. He only has 4 Terravores, so
That's all you need.
yeah.
They're
So
the biggest boys in
it's
town.
how many lands he play? 28?
29.
29?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're 7 lands average, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, plus your
that's an
Elding
average one.
Nam and the fetches, wastelands, and all that stuff. So they definitely get big. I got pretty lucky against, I think it was the quarters against the Natural Order Rock. That second Terravore, I think it was on camera, was enormous. It was like 20 power.
Yeah, yeah. It was
Yeah.
like just big enough in the first game, right? But he was probably going to turn
Yeah.
the quarter if
That was like
if
a super hot
your
run.
Mishra factory could not kill him that turn, right? Or something, or Treetop, or one of those two.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. I thought you were out of it because we couldn't tell. We couldn't tell how big the Terravore was because like the life totals were off screen. So we're like, we thought there was a lot more game coming, and then like your time with Mishra's, he just scooped it up. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like exactly 20 power because I cycled to have exactly enough and then like hold back because I was debating Winter Grasping to like take them off mana.
Oh, so the cycle's like super heads up. That's
Yeah.
like an amazing. Yeah, that's amazing.
Cycle lands are super good in there. I could
Yeah.
see it like more of them being correct. I don't know though. I'm on 2. But yeah, this deck's like really sweet with all the 8 LD spells because it's just kind of annoying to have all your lands blown up all the time, right? Like,
yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I've been there.
Yeah. So, like, I think it's pretty well positioned right now. It's like oaths are all over the place, but Dreadnought's definitely tough for it. But there wasn't hardly any like Dreadnought here. I don't know if
Yeah, that is strange how little Dreadnought there was in the room. I thought I was like really surprised by that.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Because there's only like I only saw 2 or 3 people, and there's only the 1 rock player too, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, I feel like we always kind of have an underrepresentation of rock overall.
Yeah.
It seems like that's like not a super popular local strategy.
Yeah, people like the red decks, and today was a lot of oath decks.
Yep. So any more final thoughts on what did you think of the brush land? Did you dig it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll have to work it in there. I
you're a
definitely played the factory, so now I'm gonna have to put a brushland in the deck and
One brush
maybe
land
one
for no
Core
reason.
Haven. I've been thinking about a What If Core Haven in there too to help with the Dreadnought and
That'd be probably a little weird with
Such a
one.
right.
With
Not
one
even the
brush
planes.
land. Yeah, no planes.
But I do play the Green White Prison a lot, so yeah.
Awesome. Well, congratulations.
Yeah,
Thanks
thank you
coming
again
out.
for having the tournament. Really appreciate it.
Great. Oh wait, my last question.
Yeah.
How many times have you top eighted? We were talking. I thought this was maybe your 4th. But
I think so.
We
I
think,
think
it's
there's
at
only,
least
like,
your 3rd.
The stuff, yeah, it's either 3 or 4.
Because you did it with Stasis. You did it with the Artifact
Welder
deck, and you did it with this deck. Did you ever do it with like Green White Oath or anything like that? Or
I thought I
Parfait
did, but
maybe?
maybe not. I never played Parfait.
You never played Parfait.
Uh-uh.
I feel like you did with Green White.
Probably
One.
because I was playing that deck a bunch too. So yeah, I know it was definitely at least 3. I could check like deck lists and stuff.
We'll check the records, but
I kept losing in the quarters all the time. Well, other than when Will beat me in the finals. Yeah, I was like losing in the quarters every time. Just yeah.
Sweet. Well,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you again.
Yeah, thanks a lot. And that'll be a wrap for our stream. We're I don't know if Mike's out there, but our next event will be camera. Next event will be in December. I think I'm seriously thinking about moving the week. So stay tuned. I'll try to have like updated yes, it's definitely happening right now in the next week or two.
All right.
So
Get a good conversation. Did Chad have any questions?
Was it a good conversation? I don't know. Yeah, it was pretty good. I thought it was great.
All right. Well, you ready to wrap things up?
Yeah, we should have the deck list. The deck list should be public as soon as we finish the event. All of our decks are on Melee, so
GG Melee. Okay.
you should be able to see everything that was in the deck real soon.
We'll probably submit something at TC decks as well. And then we could probably make a post on the Premodern Facebook group as well.
Yep.
So yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. We had a lot of fun. I feel like I don't know what time we normally finish, but I feel like it's usually like 2 hours
Feels
later,
like 2 hours earlier.
So it feels good. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. We had a lot of fun, and we're gonna be back later this year and
for the winter final.
Yes. All right. So we'll say goodbye for now, but until next time, take care.